That makes sense. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's always fun. Like,
I haven't caught the beginning of your streams yet, so that's good to know.
exciting
I saw
moments.
you streaming the other day.
Oh, okay.
It
Well,
was
thanks for tuning in.
Tuesday or
Very
something.
nice of you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Appreciate.
of
Um,
course.
oh, King, what's
I
up,
love
King?
it.
King Dambreaker's in the chat. What up? Yas front row.
Hey,
Nice. Pretty
King
cool.
Hamburger, how you doing? It's good to see you.
Yeah,
I
I'm here.
tried to tag you on Twitter today, and I've realized I don't think you have a Twitter account, or it wouldn't let me tag you. Not sure.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I just assume everyone has Twitter, and then I find out that they don't,
I
which is
used.
fair because for a
That's
long
fair.
time I didn't.
Oh, interesting. That isn't.
Do you? You
I
do have Twitter.
used to
Well,
have a Twitter. I stopped it because I stopped using it anyway. But now
yeah,
I just don't want to use it anymore. for
that's fair.
for reasons I can't.
I mean, I keep forgetting that the X thing is the same, so I keep
Yeah.
seeing things for it and going, "What is that?" Like,
What?
yeah,
Right,
I
right.
just keep getting really confused by it, and it still says Twitter, so I don't know why it's called X.
What do you
And when I
call?
say X,
So what do you call a message on X then? Like an Xing? Like what? I don't know. What were they
yeah,
thinking?
I don't know. He was just trying to ruin it. I think he was just like I think what I heard was that he didn't want to buy it. Like he had said he did, but then he was like, no, I actually don't. Like he was joking or something, and then they wouldn't let him back out of the deal, and so he has just systematically
That is so
tried
dumb.
to ruin it.
I mean, he didn't have
It
to do
really
much.
is.
It's yeah, it's the worst. But anyway, I hope you guys have gotten the X that Tyler's gonna be on tonight.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Like you've gotten the letter that.
I don't know, but I always feel like someone's going to get confused with drugs at some point, and it's just gonna be bad
I
all
know,
around.
absolutely, absolutely.
Like, no, officer, I was on X the other day, and I was telling my friend. Like,
Oh, that's fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah,
keep incriminating yourself. Like, no, officer. So,
hilarious.
Looney Soy Sauce,
What's up,
welcome in. How you
Looney?
doing?
Shout out Looney Soy
Good to
Sauce.
see you.
Be joining us tomorrow in karaoke. I love it. All right, friends, you ready to do this? Let's do it. Let's do the thing.
Nice.
I'm excited.
I made a sandwich.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. I'm so glad you. Oh, it's such give me a great. I was pumped me up when our guests also have a sandwich alongside yours truly.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
It's a fun thing.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's nice to see you all again. My name is Davey. I'm a variety streamer based in Los Angeles, California, and this week we are hosting another sandwich Q&A session. So welcome to the Sandwich Show, everybody. Caffeine, it's good to see you. I got something for you, Caffeine, which I'm told goes with. In fact, to take that a step further, it will go. It could even go with the sandwich I'm about to present tonight during our sandwich segment. So I'm very excited. Very excited. Thanks everybody for joining us. Tonight's guest on our sandwich Q&A series is a singer-songwriter based in Los Angeles, California. Not too far from where I am, of course. Let's give it up for our good friend Tyler Alexis. What's up? How's it going?
Hello. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Doing well, and yeah, it's so nice to see you all here. Tyler, I know you are really one of the more connected musicians in the Twitch music community. I've seen, many people know your name, and it's kind of a neat thing.
Oh.
And yeah, I mean,
That's exciting. It's still funny to hear things like that. And I'm still a very small streamer comparatively speaking,
mm-hmm.
but that is cool to hear. And it's fun to go into streams and know so many people too.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the best, to have so many acquaintances.
Oh, absolutely.
Online.
And I love that. I mean, I just see that I've met you in person a few times, like many of the times where they were at concerts, like that were in the area, and I've noticed that immediately. Like you hit it off with everybody. Like it's just always really fun to see how friendly you are to everyone here. And I think it's pretty cool. Like, are you surprised at how good the rapport is with other people who were from the Twitch community?
Yes and no. I have to say that I feel like a connection with, like, I think there's a shared connection with streamers that, as especially music streamers and stuff, more specifically, because we all share very similar experiences, and so it feels like there's that instant understanding. So in that way, I'm not surprised, but in other ways, like, I think it's easy to get caught up in numbers and stuff and feel like, oh, like, I can be friends with like anyone who has like thousands and thousands of followers or hundreds of followers, and it kind of goes across the board. And I like that it feels like an even playing field in
Mm-hmm.
a sense.
Oh yeah.
So yes and no in that. I think I hope I explained that like in an understandable way.
I think so. I think it makes sense. Like it, there's definitely that feeling. Like one thing I've often said with regard to meeting people from the platform, you meet people who are so humble you would never even realize, you would not even know they were had like I don't know 30, 40, 50,000 followers, and kind of it goes into and so ultimately it doesn't really matter. It's just that you're all kind of part of the same mission or part of the same thing. So it's pretty neat.
That's very true, and numbers really don't matter. I mean, I've met some incredibly accomplished people who have like less than 1,000, probably sometimes way less, and yet they've worked with people like Michael Jackson, and they've worked with
Absolutely.
like Pat Benatar or whatever it is. And so like it really means nothing. Like someone having 300 followers does not equate to them being, anything more than, or it doesn't equate to them being successful per se, as people seem to assume. But like then you meet someone who has like 50,000 followers or whatever, and it's confusing to me because everyone's human. And like for some reason when you see that, you're like, oh, I didn't expect that humanity, so to speak. But
absolutely.
I think it's great.
And there's something about streaming that is really exciting, I'm sure. I mean, what are the aspects of streaming on Twitch or just streaming live in general that you find appealing?
Well, personally, I love the community here, actually. That was the biggest thing that kept me here and drew me here. Well, not drew me here. I actually didn't know anything about the Twitch community when I first started streaming. And my friend who had gotten into streaming was like, hey, I just started streaming on Twitch and I'm making a decent living at it, or like some income. You should check it out. And I was like, okay, cool. Because I've been streaming on Facebook and Instagram for like a while at that point, and it's really hard to maintain numbers on there. They don't promote it well and all that kind of stuff. And then I got onto Twitch, and granted, early on it was kind of like trying to figure out what I was doing, and I didn't know anything and I didn't know anyone. But as more and more people kind of came in, and then I learned about the rating system, and like everyone is just super supportive, and I'd be in other people's streams and just absolutely blown away by how supportive the Twitch community is and how interconnected it is. So it made such a big impression on me in the very beginning, and I kind of I felt like I found my place here. And then it served an even greater role when I started to have some chronic issues, and then I couldn't go out and perform anymore. And so it served a really great opportunity for me to continue to perform on terms that my body was allowing me to do. And if I needed to stop, I could stop. And or if I had to cancel streams, which was a lot in the very beginning, it allowed me that flexibility, and the community was so on board with it. They were just like, go rest, we will be here, just take the time you need. And it's just been so impressive to me.
I agree with that. I mean, it's really cool to see people come through. I know you're talking about. I know there's been the things that I've seen it with so many different channels too, and I love that the community comes through. Yeah, there 5 beans have been redeemed in the last like 10 seconds. So these are Bean Boozled beans. We'll get to these when we have.
Oh no, you still.
I've
hidden mine.
Smart. That's smart.
I hid mine somewhere. They don't exist anymore.
So let me mark these in the counter. We're only down to this is from Trina's raid train a while back. So we're down to 6. Only 6. That's exciting. So
will you buy more, do you think?
I mean, I have to anyway because we have a regular Bamboozle redeem on top of that, which Looney just redeemed. My goodness. All right, I got that one too. That's for Looney.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm glad I don't have to join. I'll enjoy that privilege.
Looney's just more beans. But we're getting 80 beans and what's inside of all what's been stored for sandwiches. I would like to.
Did you say 80?
No, we have
we
have only 6 left.
Oh.
Wait.
Yeah, I misheard.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. So another bean. Thank you, Aphotic Photon, for joining us.
Aphotic, how you doing?
Yelling for beans. I love it. Okay, so we're down to 5. I can't. Man, we have
There's no limit on these. How have you allowed this?
We had a lot. We started with 100 actually. So when we started when we did the fundraiser for Trina's raid train, I offered 100 if they met the stretch goal. They met the stretch goal before we started stream. So I had 100 beans to consume, and it's taken months. Like it's almost been like 2 months now since we've started this, and so
oh no,
we're coming near the end. Yeah.
So these are like pre-redeemed
more or less.
beans, and then it's just they choose when.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. And like each of the free beans are only 1 point, and then somebody threw in the regular one for 1,000 points. It's bananas. Tyler has not yet redeemed a bean with 1 channel point. Yes. What?
No, I have not.
Doesn't mean that Tyler has to.
To be fair, but I don't plan to. I don't think I can torture like that.
I would have been cool if you did. It would have been fine. It would have been fine. No. But she has said the word bean several times. Oh man.
I have.
You're right.
Wait,
Dang
is that?
It. That does count.
Is that?
All right.
What?
We're down to 4. Because you can also yell bean. Like you can also say bean, and that would also qualify. So, okay, I'll allow it. So I put that in.
So funny. So, okay.
Oh my gosh. So
I accidentally gave you a bean.
I apologize for all of these distractions, but they're fun distractions, yes. But I just Tyler was a mod. That was a mod loophole. That's correct. Good mod loophole.
A mod loophole.
Yeah. And John says, "What was today's sandwich? You have not missed it yet. It's coming up." John, we have our sandwich of the week coming in just a minute or two. Trina
I'm excited about it. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
Do you change it every week?
Oh man, John too. I do change it every week. Absolutely. That's part of the excitement of it. Oh my goodness. Hi. John says, "But why yell the word bean?" Well, you did it. We have to put that in there too. Oh my goodness. So we're down to 3. Okay. 2? No. I think it's 2. I think it's 3 because John says bean earlier, then redeems a word, bad word, IRL, bean. Dang it, Calf. All right. We're down to 2. Oh my, I'm sorry, Tyler. This is absolute madness right now. So let me just ask you a quick question, and then we'll get to the sandwich of the week, and then we'll assess all these beans. So I noticed that you have a very distinctive visual style, and particularly with that of sunflowers as kind of like an identifier, like kind of like you're synonymous with the sunflower. It's pretty cool.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I was curious, what inspired the sunflower as your theme?
Well, sunflowers started off kind of being my favorite flower. They just always made me feel so much better when I'd look at them. Like even if I was having a down day and I like saw like sunflowers, I'd be like, oh, like how can you be sad when you're looking at a sunflower? And then it kind of like the more I just thought about sunflowers and how like strong the stem is and how they supposedly they look at the sun, like they follow whatever direction the sun is going. They grow as like a community. I just thought about it and I don't know, I fought it for a while because I didn't want to be I fought the concept of being too feminine for a very long time. That is unfortunately like societal training that I grew up with. And so it was a really big break out of that when I finally decided to just go with it because I was like, you know what, this really feels like it fits what I want to bring to the world, and that is just strength.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to stay positive even if things are bad, or trying to look at the positives. Growing as community, like all of these things just felt right to me. And so I finally was like, you know what, I'm just gonna dive right into it, and I have not regretted it. I also in my head was like, okay, well, you know what, worst case scenario, because if you ever choose any type of thing to identify yourself with, um, you have to live with that.
This is true.
So my thought was like, okay, well, if I were to come back to a room full of sunflowers that people had given, would I be upset? And I said, absolutely not. I would be completely happy to be surrounded by sunflowers. So that was the kind of nail in the coffin, so to speak.
That is some clever thinking. I really like where your head's at, like coming up with that. That's pretty cool, and it really works. Like,
Thank you.
yeah, I mean, I think it's the best kind of identifying imagery or logos or things that, like the sunflowers, for example, are the ones that really fit your personality, fit who you are, and it sounds like it really is a good fit. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it took a while. Branding's a difficult thing
Yeah.
because you think you know yourself, but you don't. You think about like the all of the complexities and everything, and you aren't able to see in broad strokes. So branding can be very difficult, and it's like still like such a difficult thing to figure out of like, but I that was kind of where I ended up. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No worries, no worries. It's. I think I followed all that. It's all good. Okay, so now, friends, it is time for our one of our favorite moments of the show, everybody. So, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries, including our good friends John Suthull, King Downbreaker Trina, Looney, and Aphotic Photon, and so many other people in the chat. Let's bring on the sandwich of the week.
I love this so much.
Thank you, thank you. Tyler, you have the floor. What's your sandwich of the week?
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't have a lot to work with, but I went with a classic PB&J.
Ah,
So
quite classic.
it's a good one. It's one that I rediscover every so often.
Nice.
Respect. Thank you.
Big time respect. I agree. All right, well, let's get right to it.
It's a
So we
classic.
have a sandwich and a bonus tonight.
Strawberry.
Bonus. You're not going to believe it. Oh, the jam flavored strawberry? Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, friends,
to insert without interrupting.
No problem. You're going to love this. Now, I overcooked it, but otherwise this is pretty amazing. It's the same thing. I also got PB&J.
Oh my god, no way!
Isn't that amazing?
But you did a cooked one.
Kind of cooked. Yeah, I cooked one. I did it on the grill. Yeah.
Nice. I've heard about grilled PB&J. I tried it once, but I think I did it wrong.
Jam flavor for this one, I wanted strawberry. They didn't have any, so I got one that's called Four Berries, which is I think it's strawberry, cherries, currant, and raspberries. I think is the other one. So
Interesting.
quite, yeah. So
Black currant's always good.
So now we got our bonus really quickly. This is from our friend Caffeine is My Drug. Caffeine sent this to us, so let's go open it up and see what we got.
Ooh.
So Caffeine is one of our friends from the Sam Fam community and also a streamer too. So follow Caffeine on Twitch as well. Last time Caffeine was streaming, he was brewing pumpkin ale. Really good. Looked really good. Good stuff.
Throwing it or brewing it? Having it?
No, they were brewing it. Like they were home brewing it. It's pretty good. It looked pretty good.
Oh, cool.
You're just a troll. Is this what? Okay. This is a set of spicy, really spicy sauces. Very exciting stuff. Thank you very much, Caffeine, for sending this along. We will consume this
bringing you into the next bean.
At a date to be determined. I mean, we definitely will make it. This will be a really fun stream. So, Caffeine, thank you so much for sending this along. Really cool.
What would be the #1 sandwich you would want to make with those? What's your
with that?
thought?
Oh, barbecue would be great. Like really great. Like with a spicy kick like that. Barbecue. Any kind of barbecue sandwich would be so good. So
very fair.
Yeah.
I like how fast you responded with that. That was solid.
There's definitely challenges are a thing we do on this channel for sure. But let's enjoy these sandwich. Your sandwich looks good too. Like I really like it.
I'm excited.
PB and spicy honey. Wow, calf. I love it. I love it a lot.
That actually that'd be cool. If I liked spicy things, that would sounds amazing. Honey is always good though.
Trina says Davey was like, I've wanted this question for my whole life. Something to that. That was funny. Oh, what's up, Scott? So good to see you. They look like food. That's a good start. You got it, Scott. It's what we do. Sandwich show, sandwiches. It's very apropos. Try the honey. I'll have to wait for another stream.
I've seen people do peanut butter and honey with banana. Because I used to do peanut butter and banana ones, and I've done peanut butter and honey ones, but I'd never thought about putting them together.
I could do spicy honey with this. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm gonna need some water though.
That made sure to grab some.
Yeah.
Peanut butter, man.
A good thing. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So caffeine was saying before we started streams, like, so Meg, do you have any peanut butter on you? I'm like, you know what, Calf, you won't believe it. I do have some peanut butter on me. Like, so like, I can see where his head was at. So.
It's funny.
Peanut butter equals the necessity of a beverage. Dig it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. I was like, what? Peanut butter is a beverage? And my brain just did not quite put the words in correctly.
Probably not that
yeah,
spicy.
You definitely have to have something. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. So Calf was saying probably not that spicy. My 3-year-old likes the spicy maple syrup on pancakes. Interesting. Would you do that?
I didn't even know they had spicy maple syrup.
Yeah. That does sound...
I feel like that's a horrible way to start the day. Wake up, nothing in your stomach. Let's put spicy food into it.
You might be right on that one, Tyler. I love it. I
think it depends maybe on your tolerance levels or something.
True.
I wouldn't survive.
I am trying to open it. Let's see. This is quite an adventure. Foods are always an adventure on this channel, though. I mean, I know I have like 10 beans to redeem right now, so we'll get to that in a second. How was your sandwich, by the way? What kind of peanut butter did you get for it?
Chunky.
Chunky gal.
Chunky.
I mean, no, I shouldn't have said that, but you know, like, but chunky. You're a chunky
natural?
peanut butter gal. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, chunky peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is when I was younger, I hated chunky peanut butter. I would not touch it. I hated it. I didn't understand it.
Interesting.
But then I changed. I don't know what happened. One day I was just like, this is too bland. I want chunky peanut butter. And I was like, I like this. This makes it interesting.
Life's funny like that. Okay, so let's try this. So it's this is spicy honey to go with this peanut butter. Let's see what this all tastes like.
Oh man.
Will there be an ambulance? Pulls up now. Just kidding.
Have it like on your dock, like just easily push it.
Yeah. Trina says spicy honey on pizza is amazing. I would. That might be. Yeah, that might sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Looney says this is gonna change your life. Just the tip, Davey. Wait, what's the tip? Do we have a tip? Did I see a tip? Let me go look. What do we have here? Let me go look at my recent events. It's harder for me to see tips on here if there are tips. No, I see. Like literally a tip, like advice. Okay. I do want to thank Mr. X for the follow too, because X is a really cool streamer too. So thank you so much for following. Okay. What's up, Photic Photon? Shout out, Jerry. Okay. So here it is. This is spicy honey. Tyler, for better or for worse, we're gonna try it. Not bad. I mean, listen, I come from a family that is really built around spicy food, so we are good with this. This is good stuff.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Calf. Very nice. Mm. Oh, the sandwich dab, just a tip. Oh, okay. I'm not like dunking it like it's a basketball. Like, sorry.
Hey, it works.
For sure.
Depends on your, tolerance, and sauces are always good.
This is pretty good. Caffeine. Thank you so much for sending that along. I really appreciate it. I will at some point get to the beans, but first continue our conversation with Tyler Alexis before Cap says, and there's some fancy sriracha sauce in there. Here, it's in short supply. I can imagine. Yeah, but did you know that was a thing at one point? The sriracha shortage. I was like, who knew?
Did not.
Yeah, how about that?
I can't say that I was affected.
I hear.
Why was there a shortage? Do you know?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. There might have been like some kind of like climate thing going on wherever they were growing it, and I think something like that. Because one time, remember, there was a cold snap in Florida, and then there was an orange shortage at some point. Maybe that might have happened. So,
did they use oranges in it?
No, that was not related. It's just the orange. Like just saying, like that would explain why there might have been like climate would affect a shortage. Trina says the South Asians are suffering. Oh, I can imagine. A combo of capitalism and climate. Well, that's fair. That's fair too. But
don't they seem to always be intermixed?
I know, honestly. Oh yeah. See, Caffey's basically supporting Trina's point. Like it's a combo. It's a marketing ploy by the company, like the McRib, which is its own.
To make it supply and demand, so to speak.
Have you ever had a McRib? Is that something you would do, or have you done?
I think I have. It's been a minute, but I think I have. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know I have. It's the kind of longish with the meat patty that's it doesn't have any bones in it. It's just and it looks like it's been grilled.
It looks like it's.
I'm sorry. I'm like actually just like making sure I'm thinking of the right thing because I don't want to say yes and then find out I was completely off. But I think so.
No, you're absolutely dead. You're spot on actually, because it definitely was not grilled, and it certainly is not actual meat either. So, for those of you who need a refresher on what a McRib looks like, we have it for you here.
Oh, perfect. See, now I can say yes or no.
Yeah, there we go. Let's go open this up over here. I'll just show this to the. Oh my gosh, this is a huge picture. I was like, it'd be a huge picture. Let me show you what this looks like. So here, get ready to be overwhelmed by a McRib, everybody. Like,
oh dear,
it's like towering over the two of us. But the pickles are nice. I like the pickles. I mean, not too bad. Yeah.
McDonald's does love their pickles.
True story. True story. Do you have any favorite things at McDonald's in particular?
The fries.
Yeah.
I swear they used to be better. They've like put less salt or something. I don't know what they're doing, but every once in a while. But they're just definitely one of the things that I still will crave every so often. I try really hard not to do. Oh, and their breakfasts. Their breakfasts are great.
I'm definitely co-signing the breakfast. The breakfast is so good. McMuffin.
I wish they would have those.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you do the big breakfast or do you do like the McMuffin and such?
The McMuffins are just a great like grab, and they're always fresh and stuff like that. So yeah.
I like the call.
I can get down on a McMuffin.
Yeah. Scott says, is that a real or simulated McRib? Well, I mean, when the McRib itself is simulated meat, I guess that's an interesting question. I probably would be a photo. I'll say simulated. McDonald's pancakes are amazing, and then you see the calorie count. Yikes! Oh yeah. Saying hello to Backup Pickles. Wait, we have Backup Pickles. That's cool. What's up? And
what are you doing?
TLYYN. It's good to see your friends coming through.
7?
Yeah.
Like at a time, Apodic?
Like in a day? That seems like a lot.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Amount of food.
I think even one.
But you were a growing boy.
Exactly. Like at once, I
Oh.
used to weigh 250. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Wow. Um, Safe travels, pickles. I love people on Twitch who are named after foods. It's like I can sympathize with that. It's like it's pretty cool. So definitely.
The irony is that he hates pickles.
Oh, does he really? Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would tell you what his name means, but it ruined it for me, and I won't ruin it for anyone else. Baka.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's
I wasn't sure. That's all good. It's all
no, it's not bad. I
Caffeine named after
refuse to
various
ruin it
beverages.
for anyone else.
There you go. So yeah, Tyler.
There you go.
Here you go. Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we were just talking about a minute ago meeting people from the platform. You had such. It looked like you had such a wild, fun, amazing time in Europe, and it seemed to be a really, really eventful trip. I mean, tell us a little bit about your experience going to Paris for the TwitchCon festivities, or even being around the TwitchCon festivities, and then that giant tour you went on after with your friends.
Yeah, it was quite an experience, I have to say. I wasn't originally planning to go to TwitchCon Paris, and a series of things just kind of lined up a little too perfectly. So I was just like, okay, I'll take a hint from the universe and just dive right in. And it was an amazing experience. Starting in Paris, getting to meet so many people that I've only ever seen online. And a lot of LA people. I was like,
That's
wait,
true. That's true.
I'm not
Good
supposed to
point.
be seeing you here.
That's a good point. I didn't know.
But it was cool. It was really cool. I'd never been to TwitchCon before, and it was hot. It was so hot.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and I started doing the live streams like more regularly, like the ones where we were just walking around or driving or whatever. Even when I was at TwitchCon, just doing, what is it? Not live streams. What, I don't know what to call it, but IRL was a lot of fun. I felt like I was able to grow closer to the community, and I just felt more of a kinship with everyone afterwards. But the tour was really cool too. We got to have so many experiences. We played with a few. We did some shows with a few other Twitch streamers in different places, and even did some busking with a Twitch streamer, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I just think that it was a really, really good turnout. I just noticed that, particularly when you going back a little bit to the park concert that just kind of happened. Like, it was there any plan for that, or did people just start doing it and then people were gathering around and then like finding everyone
else? Do you mean the one that we were in Switzerland?
No, I'm going back to like before the trip, like but when you were in Paris, and then they kicked you out because the park closed.
Oh, you know what's so funny is I was not at that.
Oh, you weren't? Okay, no worries.
I was meeting up with a friend that I had met years back, and I get to see her every time I'm in Europe.
Okay.
Usually, well, not usually, all the time, but last time she was in Belgium, and now she's living in Paris, so it was cool to catch up. But I wasn't there. That was a planned get together, but it was also semi-impromptu.
I gotcha. How about the tour? Like, was that planned from the jump, like before you got there, or was that something that just was inspired once you were there?
Oh no, we definitely were planning before that.
Oh, okay.
I kind of joined in. Hannah and Auburn had already been making plans to tour, and I kind of joined in on their tour. And we just tried to book a bunch of places where we knew people, so that there could be kind of like hitting two birds with one stone type of thing. And it worked out. It was, I think one of our gigs we got literally, because some of them were last minute. Some of them we got while we were on the road, so that was cool. One of them we got because we were at a gas station, and Hannah is just so good at talking to people. She just talks to everyone, and Auburn and I were always the people that are like, well, we're sociable, but we don't talk to strangers.
Gotcha.
And so we always joke that it was Hannah's new channel should be Hannah Talks to Strangers. But she was talking to these guys who were also fueling up, and they were in a what you call it, those types of vans. kind of like a touring van, but not a touring van. It was
Oh.
what are they called? Why can't I remember the name? Anyways, they were in a van, a clear touring van, and a Sprinter.
Oh, Sprinter. Okay.
And Hannah started talking to them and found out that they were musicians. We kind of got out and started chatting, and come to find out it's Wolf Mother, which I had never heard of. But Wolf Mother was touring in Europe. He's a Australian-based musician, songwriter, etc., artist, and he has been in the business for a long time. And so he was touring through Europe. He's actually touring through California right now, I think, or the States. But we find that out. Also, the people that he hired to be his backing band happened to be from the Netherlands, which was our tomorrow gig. So we were heading towards, I think we were still in Germany, but we were supposed to we were still trying to find something for the Netherlands. And the three or four of the band members, one of them was like, hey, I have a brother who, it, you know, I have a couple brothers who own a hostel type thing and they have a restaurant or whatever. And you should hit them up. Here's their number. So we literally called them and they were like, yeah, come through. Well, that we'd love to have you. And they even, the brother, he actually came to the show, which was super sweet. I guess it was his day off during tour, which was amazing that he'd spend it there. But yeah, so like there were different things like that. The one in northern England, we got a few hours before. Hannah just was going into shops or going into places and just talking to the owners or the people running it, and they're like, hey, would you like some music tonight? It happened to be kind of the worst night though, because there was like this big shenanigans thing like at the castle, which is a weird sentence to say. There was some big performance that was happening at the castle, and so most places were like, we're not doing music tonight because why? And we're like, fair,
Definitely.
But we found a nice little wine bar that we're like, yeah, sure, it's a small place, we don't have any gear, and we're like, we're fine, it's a small enough place, we can just play acoustically, and that was fine. We streamed from it, we made some good friends and whatnot, and it was a lot of fun. So there were a lot of like kind of random experiences that way.
Well, that's really fun. Like, I mean, now the things you kind of must have experienced visiting that many cities, that many countries in a short amount of time, pretty amazing. Like, you already run down a lot of them.
We were in a different city every single day.
That's legit.
Every day. We slept in a different place, with exception of two. At the beginning of our trip or the beginning of our tour and the end of the tour, we had two nights in one place and 2 nights in a different place. But aside from that, we were in a different city every single day, and it was such a mind warp. I had no idea what day it was most days. I had no idea where we were or where we were going. Like, I had the basic idea, but I didn't know where I was on the map. Like, I was just like, what was yesterday? Was it Liechtenstein? No, yesterday was like this other part of Germany, because we had 3 in Germany, but they were 3 different cities.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's right, we did have that in between. Okay, so it was like, what day is it? It's like Friday? No, it's Saturday. Okay, Saturday. No, it's Monday. Oh, okay. What are we doing? Are we back in Paris tomorrow? Like it's very confusing. And you don't think it would be, but it really, really is. Very disorienting, but fun. It kept it very interesting. We met so many people. We did learn that it would be nice to stay a little longer in each place, because we'd literally spend the day traveling. We'd arrive, we'd perform, or we'd get settled and then we'd perform. Then maybe we'd have a late night with said people that we're staying with or at the venue or wherever we were, and then go to sleep. And the idea was always to like leave in the morning and drive to the next place. But then our like mornings leaving schedule started to like just get a little bit longer and a little bit longer, because we needed the opportunity to kind of just relax, so and to spend more time. So there just wasn't a lot of time to do that.
Oh,
But
that's true. Because you can't.
always return trips.
You would have more time to sightsee that way too. That'd be kind of neat. So.
Right. Well, I think Auburn was on a strict schedule because she had something that was happening in 2 weeks, and then I was going to be cat sitting for my friend um, in Paris, so it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
But it worked out. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think it's really interesting. And then Keither37, what's going on, Keither? So good to see you. And I'm very excited to have you on tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us, Keither, tonight. Shout out Keither37. Scott says, I'd love to be on a bushwalk and discover Hannah singing as you do.
That would be fully true.
Yeah. It attracts so much. You know?
Yeah. If I ever just randomly came across Hannah in a field singing to a phone, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Or not a phone, but whatever. I'd just be like, yeah, okay, that checks out. Absolutely. We filmed a mini music video in a sunflower field the first day of our tour.
Oh. Is it out?
That was a lot of fun.
Is it out?
No, not at all. Oh. I don't even have the audio for it. I need to talk to Auburn about it. We had all these I haven't even posted most of the pictures or anything from tour. I've been so behind on everything, but I had some big things I had to focus on when I first got back. So been doing that, unfortunately, but I'm hoping to get to them soon. Although the longer it goes away from when we got back, the longer it feels like, why am I even going to post these? But I will.
I'll keep an eyeball on the socials because those are going to be some great visuals once they're out.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So here's the golden question.
Sunflowers.
Would you do it again or something like that again?
Oh, yeah. I love touring. It was kind of weird because we definitely needed breaks. There definitely needed to be not necessarily a weekend, because performing on weekends is kind of the way to do it. But I'm actually planning to do it again in a weird way, but it's not quite the same. I'll be in Texas in the end of October. I'll be in Vegas for TwitchCon. I'm not going to TwitchCon, but I'll be there for TwitchCon. Seeing people. And then I'll be flying directly to Texas, and I'm still booking for that, but I've got some places that I'll be performing and other streamers that I'll be streaming with and doing co-streams, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But I'm already exhausted thinking about it.
Well, there's a lot of planning.
It's fun, but it is exhausting. Yeah. I actually was really shocked that I did not get sick at all during the tour.
Wow.
I was blown away. I never said anything because I was going to be like, if I said anything, I knew that I would jinx it, but I was blown away. I have to say, I think it's the vitamins. I'm on a very strict vitamin regimen as of, but who knows?
For sure.
Maybe nobody's sick over there.
I can't really speak to that, but that's amazing. That's great fortune. I'm glad. I'm really glad. You're right. The odds are often not great in that situation in favor of getting through all of that. But you have memories forever now. It's pretty cool. And then more memories to come in Texas. I hear. So and let's see, Photo Photon says confirmed for the 27th. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Cool.
Jerry's been helping me a lot getting venues and stuff. He's been reaching out to a bunch of places, which has been a huge help as I have been dealing with all the other things.
I gotcha. Yeah.
It's nice to have at least someone kind of checking in on all of that.
Yeah.
He's been a big help.
Well, big time props, Jerry.
Yay, Baka.
And Baka, you made it home safely. That's great too. And Keith, they're so good to see you. Yes, definitely follow our friends, Keither and Aphotic Photon, who's also going to be part of our karaoke tomorrow. I mean, that karaoke is going to be wild, y'all. It's going to be a fun night tomorrow. But,
fun.
Yep. Did you all do? This is a not really relevant question, but did you do any? Did you have a beat? It doesn't sound like you had a beat for anything else, but if you did have a beat, did you have a beat to do karaoke at any place during your trip to Europe?
When you say a beat, do you mean like a break?
Yeah, like a moment, like a few minutes or an hour or like a night to do that at any point. Because it's
So we had London
Mm-hmm.
when we didn't have a show in London,
Mm-hmm.
but Auburn decided to perform at an open mic. So technically we did, but I decided to take the day off because I actually started the tour recovering from strep throat
Oh.
and spent most of the tour trying to do everything I could to like keep recovering, but staying in that kind of like borderline strained state. And so I decided London was my day to like, because it was the only day we were gonna have off, and then we had up north and then back down. But
Gotcha.
I guess but that was towards the end of the tour. So that day was our only evening off.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
Yeah, that was the only one.
so yeah, that sounds pretty. That's pretty intense. So Tyler, I'm gonna show this to everybody. We have. Look how many beans we have to consume here. This is.
Oh no.
This is gonna be.
Oh no. And it's such a wide variety too.
I know. It's gonna be nuts. So let's get through these, and then we're gonna go to random questions, which gives everybody in our chat, all of you, get a chance to ask questions of our friend Tyler Alexis Music. So we will be really glad to take them in. If you want to send a question now, you can use ! Question followed by your question in the chat. King says, would you say you have a plethora? I have quite the plethora. And they're all in a row, too. I think it was serendipitous that they all decided to line up in a row. So let's go with it.
You didn't do that?
I think I did. Well, I did. I think I did it subliminally because like I wasn't even paying attention. But it looks like all of a sudden you just have them all lined up just for visual comic effect, I guess.
We had a moment where I wasn't paying attention and I had blown up a bunch of balloons and they were over the floor. Can't remember why. I think it was like my 2-year anniversary or something like that. And at one point, someone like commented, love how the balloons are in a circle in the back of your room, and I like turned around and I was like, what? Like 6 or 7 balloons had just formed a complete, like a perfect circle in the corner of my room, having nothing to do with me, with exception of maybe walking in airflow. And I was just sitting there like, okay, what?
That is nuts.
I believe it. That's the point.
That actually makes me feel better because that means that maybe these things can happen to anybody. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Or
so
I have a ghost.
We have
it's a question.
I can't. It could be. I wouldn't rule it out. Okay, so B number 1. This is for so many people. So hydrate from King Dambreaker. Anki King. Okay, here we go. This one's either gonna be dirty dishwater or birthday cake.
Fantastic difference.
Amazing difference.
No. Oh no.
I think you know which one it is, right? Yeah. I'm gonna say
mine were all bad up front. All of them. I only can hope that the rest are good if I ever have to pull them out. But
you're very. Oh, you mean your stash? Oh my gosh. How many? Well, we'll get to that later. This next one. Do we have to do this now? Pear or booger?
I feel like that one's the least atrocious.
Cass's Davies beans are so foul they repel each other. I think you're right.
That's actually not a bad idea. Some ginger.
Ginger's actually a good call, though, Cass. Yeah.
Do we have pear?
No, I don't think so.
Booger.
That's hard to tell. The people in the Sam fam have speculated that I may be desensitized to the taste of the beans now because I've had so many of these. Possibly.
That would be impressive.
All right, next one is going to be. I don't know what this one is. This is interesting.
I do feel like there are some that are a mix of both, that they somehow ended up not being the either, or a really low version of one.
Yeah, you're right. Baka, thank you for the follow. That's so nice of you. Thank you.
Yay.
So that bean was bubblegum. That was really good. That was good. Next bean, I think this is just coconut. Let's try it. Or it could be egg. Damn it! It's rotten egg! Ugh.
Everyone has at least one flavor that they cannot do.
It's hard.
My friend's was dirty dishwater, and mine was liver and onions.
I got good news for you, Tyler. That bean's in there too. Liver.
I saw it. I saw it. I told you it looked like a wide array. You had like all of the flavors.
Pretty much everything's
Hopefully
in here.
some more good ones in there.
Hopefully. Well, I'm gonna save the barf one to the end.
Oh, why would you do that?
Maybe you're right.
Guess
I should probably do it. I'll put it in the middle. We'll play it halfway.
You do you. You do you.
All right. So the next one's either gonna be.
Is that the one you can't take?
Oh gosh. At this point, you know the one the worst one for me. It was in a previous generation of the Bean Boozleds. The spoiled milk was the one that was the toughest.
Oh.
The toughest for me to do every single time.
That's brutal.
It is. It sticks with you too.
Oh, I was thinking stink bug. Liver and onions also bad, but stink bug was the one I couldn't do.
Oh, stink bug, yeah. That stink bug
that one's the one I like had to spit out every single time. I just hated the liver one. But
I don't blame you. This is such a cruel thing. Like every one of those is in here. Like stink bug is in here too. Okay. This one's either trying to be socks or tutti frutti. Oh, stinky socks.
Your odds are not good tonight.
Nah. But oh, Azabi, so nice to see you. How's it going? This one is guaranteed to be good. This is cherry. This cannot be a bad flavor. This color will never be anything other than wild cherry.
What? Isn't the other option like Band-Aid or something?
That's a darker color. This is a bright red. So the bright red usually means it's just a cherry. The dark red means it's either pomegranate or, as you mentioned, the dirty bandage. Ooh. Ah, that tastes so good. I'm not gonna really soak this in because like some really horrible ones are coming up right now. Okay.
I was gonna say I would have saved that one to the end if you knew for sure.
For sure.
What is your method of washing it out of your mouth?
Got the water. Water gets it done. But if it's a particularly rough night, we go for some harder alcohol. Yeah.
Nothing like drinking it away.
It's effective sometimes. Azabi, am I eating a pill? These are Bean Boozled jelly beans. These are jelly beans, and they can be a good flavor or a bad flavor, but they look exactly the same. So this one is either going to be vomit or peach. The tension mounts.
Sorry.
And it is.
Brutal.
I had high hopes for that one.
What is that? Like one good one out of, well, I guess technically two good ones out of how many? So far? Where are we at? 7?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can count them over here. So 1, 2, 3. Wait. Yeah. 1, 2. Wait. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this one is either gonna be. Wait, you know what? Are you thinking Tyler would do the worst one at first? Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. Do it.
This is either
unless you feel like you can't do anything after that.
Right. So, this is the worst leftover bean. This is either going to be strawberry banana smoothie or it is going to be dead fish.
Oh god, I hated that one too.
Oh!
No!
None of them are good. Like all the ones that can be bad are bad.
None of them. I feel your pain. I'm sorry. I'm laughing. I'm laughing at the irony, the way, the meanness of life.
I appreciate you.
Oh.
Well, maybe.
I'm so sorry.
Maybe this one will redeem myself. Redeem things for me. This is either going to be cappuccino or you were telling me about this one, liver and onions.
Stink bug. Oh, liver and onions. Yeah. Oh. People eat liver and onions like as a food. I do not get it.
I'm not with it. I think that's like the only one I didn't get tonight, the stink bug. That's like the only one.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You know what? At least you were saved from that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I got lucky. Okay. Here we go. No.
Oh, God.
Muppets. Oh, by the way, Muppets, thank you for the bean redeem as well. So good to see you tonight. Auburn recently had like 9 or 10 bean redeems in a row, and they were mostly bad. That's how they get you. Okay. I'm gonna need the water right now.
Damn.
Thank you so much for the 100 bits. I appreciate you. That's really nice of you. I did this to myself. It's all good. It's all good. Master Beast is you're torturing yourself, Davey. Okay. Last bean. Guaranteed to be good. This is like blueberry. There is no bad flavor for this bean. This color is not registered with any of the Bean Boozled flavors. This is a regular bean from a different cache.
Oh, I was like, how are you getting these ones that don't have other things?
Yeah, because
I
had another bag of like good beans because I needed to mix them in because I ran out of the bad beans, so I'm just mixed in. I bought like another bag of like regular beans and put them in there.
Okay.
All this to say, this will be a good flavor. Grape.
My least favorite part is when you burp later and it tastes like whatever you had. It's the worst because you think you've gotten through it. You're like, I made it. And then you're like, oh God, no, please.
That is such a good point. Oh no!
Do you really not have a limit to this?
I have 2 left. So that's what's left. If they 2 more can be redeemed tonight, and then we'll stop, and then we can turn it off. So,
got it. I thought you had 6 more left.
We did, but that was like earlier in the stream, and then like a pile of people redeemed it as we were talking. So
right,
let's go back to it.
Round 2, yeah.
I know
the Band-Aid one's really bad too. That one's another bad.
Okay.
Like, I had a friend that ate. She had a bunch. She did like a big thing with like subs or something, and she had like 20 or so, or maybe even like more than that. It's been a while. She had a ton, and she decided that she wanted to get it all over with in one go, and she chose to eat them all at the same time.
No!
And by far the worst decision she's ever made in her life.
Oh, that does not end well.
It was so bad.
Oh.
Yeah, it did not end well.
I feel bad for your friend too. Oof. Mistakes were made, I guess is what I would say.
Mistakes were made for sure.
All right, so we tried that. Yeah, they did. Because and not only that, but it's less entertainment because you can only have that would all happen at once, and then you can't enjoy the extensive torture for months and months and months. Like that's not the same thing. So anyway,
yeah,
we have 2 left. This is one of the 2. So now we have 1 left. This is either going to be birthday cake or dirty dishwater. No, this is birthday cake. I'm going to be so happy and grateful. Okay, let's find out. There you go, dirty dishwater. And Calf has redeemed the final bean, and I'm turning that goddamn thing off right now. I'm just like, I'm not. No more beans tonight. No more beans. We're done.
Oh my God.
I'm turning it off before somebody redeems it again.
It's like they all do. Oh my God.
Oh.
I mean, there isn't anything else to redeem, but still.
And it does clear the backlog of beans. So thank you, everybody. We've done it. We've done the thing. Thank you, Trina. You know, this is all for because of the incredible generosity at the WMTS fundraiser. Big time kudos to everybody who contributed to that. Trina says you did it, Davey. We did it, everybody. Thank you so much. So this is our final bean. And the good news is, I can tell from the color it's actually going to be good. So let's see what it is. Whew. The journey is finally over, Tyler Alexis. I'm so happy.
Your being sacrificed will be used for music therapy services in Canada.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Trina. That is awesome. So I think this is blueberry, which I haven't had in a while. That's pretty good. Okay.
I thought the other one was blueberry.
I did too. I think that was a grape though. But I did think it looked like blueberry, right? Didn't it look more like blueberry to you? Yeah.
I could not see it. So I'm gonna go based off of your assumption.
Yep. So King says the maturity is over until the mods mess with him again with another loophole. This will happen again. You are right. But for now, I am safe. So no more being boozled the rest of the night. That makes me happy. Like we have like roughly 30 to 45 minutes where I don't have to worry about any more beans. That makes me happy. So
that's great.
So we're done. This can now be turned off. Thank you so much, everybody. Now, folks, let's celebrate this moment with the consumption of 100 jelly beans over the last 2 months. And let's have a chat with our friend Tyler Alexis as we get into America's favorite moment. Once I turn this up in Twitch broadcasting.
Do the dance. It's time for random questions. Good stuff. Ask us anything.
All right, let's do it. Let's ask anything of our Tyler Alexis. Glad you like that. Thank you. So the way you do it, exclamation point question followed by the question. It's by the question you have for Tyler tonight, and we'll ask them in order in the remaining time we have on our program, giving chat a 60-second head start. Yeah, definitely get those questions in. Get those questions in. I'm gonna get one in just to break the ice. My question is the question, which is our traditional question. And mods, you know what to do. Use the appropriate command based on the response. The question is, pancakes, waffles, French toast, or crepes?
French toast.
Ooh. I like it. I like it. I like it.
What's the response?
I was like, oh, okay. That's great. It's a great response, though. It's a very popular choice. So, exclamation point French toast to mark that down. Thank you, King.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really great. So yeah, if anybody else has a question, I know all the cool people here have questions. Let's see. The next question comes from Methodic Photon. Would artificial vanilla scents be equal to a vanilla candle asking for a friend?
Hey, Methodic. Sure. I think it's good. I think it'll be fine. Yeah.
Boom.
That's funny.
French toast takes the lead indeed. How about that, everybody? All right, so thank you for the question. I love it. Keep them coming. Like, if you got questions, Tyler's got answers. I've never seen you ask the question on your stream and you've not had an answer for it. Like, that's one of the coolest things about your channel is that you always have good responses for everything.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I guess that's true. I always come up with at least some sort of response.
Mm-hmm.
Which begs the question: are they all true? Kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Usually, I'll say if I don't know, or we'll look it up.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So next question is from King, one of our mods, and definitely someone you know very well from your channel. The question from King is, living or dead, which 3 performers would you most want to play live on stage with?
Pink, John Mayer, and Josh Groban. Those are my final answers. Actually, no, wait. I would say Ariana Grande, but I feel like I would just look like a horrible singer next to her. Be hard to share a stage with her.
I mean, I don't know if I would say, I wouldn't go if I go that far, but I see where you're coming from. Like, you don't want to be upstage necessarily. Like, I kind of see that, but still, yeah. Like, I think that would be a really fun collab. Like, I think like it would be, you could have some really good duets with Ariana Grande. You know, like true story.
Yeah,
It'd be really fun. Yeah,
she's dope.
for sure. I hadn't heard from Ariana in a while. Like, it's been a few months. Like, has she had a hit? Like, I mean, does she have a new song out? Like, I just don't know about, but she's
I
had some
have
great
no
ones.
idea.
Yeah.
I am so not part of the world outside of this room. It's ridiculous.
Mm, that's fair. Like,
I'm
I would say I'm
very not a day.
probably in the same boat in that regard, because like I think like the most like the biggest thing that I really remember that's been in vogue is the Barbie movie, and then I finally saw it, so I'm like, hey, I'm cultured now. I know Barbie, so like it was pretty cool. But I like your
I still need to
choices.
see that movie. It looks good.
It's good. You're gonna love it. It is
Okay.
very fun, very funny, really good, well written. Um, but thank you, King. Thank you for the question. Azabi with the next question. Ooh, this is a great question. Okay, Tyler. The question from Azabi: do you get stage fright during performing at a bigger stage or more crowd audience?
Is that a not an either or? Is that like a that's more of a as a whole?
Yeah, like basically, do
Like
you
both?
feel stage fright when you're performing in front of bigger stages or bigger audiences?
Gotcha. Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do. I although sometimes it can be more like that with a really small um like gig too, with like a small room of a small amount of people, because it's a bit more intense. They're paying attention and you're like but it is also, yeah, I definitely have stage fright when I go on stage if there's like a bunch of people. I the biggest I think my biggest performance was 500 approximately. um I had been asked to open for a city. Well, they do these like concerts in the park type thing, and there were so many people there.
Wow, that is a big crowd.
um
Yeah.
yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it's any different than the stage fright that I would feel at most other shows, with
Mm-hmm.
exception of just the thought of, well, if you mess this up, you mess it up in front of way more people.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I got
I
you.
mean, mess ups are inevitable though, so it's just kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
Right on. Azabi, thank you very much for your question. We appreciate it very much. Um, Aphotic Photon's question: pre-show stream ritual. Oh, okay. So, what's your pre-show stream ritual? Throat coat, alcohol, effort. What happens?
Running around like a chicken with my head cut off. That is my
Oh, wow.
stream ritual. I'm kidding. Um, basically, do my makeup, do vocal warm ups. I usually do my vocal warm ups while I'm doing my makeup, because why not kill two birds with one stone in time wise? I prep all my lights. I turn them all on. I turn all the equipment on. I plug in what I need to plug in. Clean the camera of my computer, and kind of just make sure everything's working audio wise. I have certain pages that I open. I try to close out of any browsers I don't need so
Oh,
that I
yeah.
can make sure it runs as smoothly
Mhm.
as possible. And honestly, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and grab a glass for wine, and because usually I'm doing wine and music Wednesdays. That's like my most consistent one.
Mhm.
But and make sure I have water filled up. I put things away. That's right. That's the other thing. I make sure that at least this portion of the room is clean. anything
Gotcha.
anything visible, so to speak. But as far as, yeah, that's it. Kind of warm ups, makeup, prepare the room and the stream itself. um I've tried to make it as minimal as possible, because sometimes I'm coming in after a long day of work or
Mhm.
whatever. So
Gotcha. No,
yeah,
that is
I
solid.
probably should have something different. I don't know. I don't know what
I
is
mean, I wouldn't
normal.
necessarily say that. I mean, I think there's something to be said for keeping your setup simple and not like solid and dependable. because the more you try to do, the more it can go wrong, right? Like you kind of seen it on other cheap people's channels. Like sometimes less is more. So I think it's
Very true.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I notice it every time I stream on like a different computer or doing a different thing. Is I had my computer in the shop for about a week or so, and so all of my streams were on a Windows computer of all things, but it was on my work computer, and nothing was working. And I was like, oh, that's right. I spent the last few years like getting everything to a point where it doesn't overheat or it doesn't like whatever, it's just like there's always these there's so many things like going into OBS and making sure that it is, not formatted, optimized for streaming on whichever type of thing. So there's just so many things, and having a routine generally means I forget less things. So at least as far as the setup goes.
Yep. How much time would you say you spend like practicing songs or like warming up in that regard? Because I understand that sometimes that is part of the process when there's a music stream involved. Or no, maybe not.
What? Oh, you looked off to the side, and I didn't want to.
Oh,
I
no!
Something.
I was just waiting for your answer. Okay, sorry.
I was waiting if someone was talking to you. I was waiting for them to finish. I'm sorry. I actually, it's usually about a half hour of warm ups. I have a specific warm up routine that I do. Most of the time, I'm using one that I actually pay for. Instead of vocal lessons, I pay for this like monthly warm up service and whatnot, and I can just kind of go through them as I need. And there's warm ups for different styles of singing and different areas of the voice. Mine is usually centered around relaxing the voice because that tension in my throat and in my voice is kind of my biggest thing that I struggle with. Because I don't breathe enough, if you noticed. But so that's usually about a half hour of warm-ups. I could always do more, but you also don't want to over warm up because you can tire your voice out. So there's a fine balance.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, this balance is a big part. This balance is huge. Obviously, definitely. What's up, Rain? Rain, so good to see you. Really loading and follow our friend you loading as well, who has a question which will come up in a moment. Next question is from King Dambreaker. The question is, any words of encouragement to someone wanting to be a performing artist?
That's a good question. Any words of encouragement? It is difficult for everyone, and everyone starts at zero. Everyone. So if you feel like, and your age doesn't matter in most aspects. I've met so many people in the industry, and there's so many things you can do in the industry too. If you want to be a performing artist, that's great. If you love music and you don't want to perform, that's also great. If you just like the business side of it, there's just so much there. But for specifically performing, as far as encouragement, just breathe, learn how to trust yourself. I don't know. I feel like I'm struggling with the concept of words of encouragement, because I feel like I think about advice, but words of encouragement kind of mean something different, don't they? They're like, "You're doing great. Keep it up." Which feels weird if I don't know the person. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
So I'm struggling with that definition, but King Dambrick, if you wanted to elaborate, I could probably give a more directed answer.
That sounds pretty solid, though. I mean, I think your advice does sound pretty good. So
okay,
let's roll with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So let's go to the next question from Azabi. What is your next pursuit in music? Also, your plans. Like, well, what's next on your music career?
Oh goodness. Recording is the biggest thing. I have been in the process of trying to get my demos finished or recordings or whatever for the last, like, I don't know how many years. Every single time I start, something comes up, something happens, and just throws everything for a loop. So, and especially since I started trying to self-produce, because for the longest time I wasn't doing it because I didn't have the finances or anything. And I finally, like, during the pandemic, it kind of just hit me that I was like, why am I, like, everyone's producing at home? Like, what am I doing? Like, I can learn this. Like, I've learned what I need to learn about these other things. And so it was just kind of a natural progression to switch over to that. But it still has been such a process, and there's always things that keep coming up. So that I really, really need to get more music out there, because it's a little embarrassing when I show off my Spotify and I'm like, there's 3 songs on there, and really there's just 2. I just can't get the other one off. So, you know, it's I really need, recording is the biggest thing, because once I've done the recordings, then I can focus on the music videos. I can focus on the release structure and the what you call it. Well, anyways, and then I can have that as merch at my shows, or I can have it bringing in maybe even passive income. You know, I can potentially try to get it synced and licensed, although I don't know if the music in this one will be, it depends, but there's just so many things that rely specifically on me getting that. So that is the next thing. From there, with certain music videos or certain release cycles, I have certain things in mind that I was hoping to have done already, but again, things had kept coming up. And then more touring, more merch, more performing, collabs. Collabs are the next, also another big thing that I've been trying to focus on. But sorry, that was the longest answer for the shortest answer that could have been. Recording.
Yeah.
Try that one again. But yeah.
Well, it's really cool to see the process. But the process of that is really fun to hear. I mean, it's neat to see the rundown of recording, and collabing too would always be really fun. Now, who jumps to mind off the bat? You've already collabed with some people with regard to the tour, but in terms of collabing back here at home, like, who are some of the people that you're thinking of when you're thinking of collabs?
Well, my first thought is Emily Coop. She reached out to me about a month or 2 or 3 ago. Can't remember if I was already on tour or if I was back. But maybe sometime in August. No, it was before I got back, because she was talking about doing something in August, and I was like, yeah, maybe. It's like, we'll see how that goes, because I knew I was going to have a lot to get back on, but it worked out timing wise. So we still have plans to do a collab. So, and her birthday is today, so that's why it definitely jumps to mind. I'm starting to compile a list, because my problem is I've had that conversation with so many people, and I forget because I don't have time to do those things. And then I'm like, who was it that I was supposed to do a collab with? And if the person doesn't, check in with me or something, I'm forgetting. And even when I have the time or want to do it or whatever, I don't remember who I need to reach out to. So
yeah, I'm
actually compiling a list. Kuya is on that list.
Oh, okay.
It's a very new list. I think there's only 3 people on it so far. So, so those just people I have to figure out. Anyone and anybody, though. I want to do more and more collabs, because they're a really good opportunity to work with other artists, see how they work, figure out how you can work with someone else, how to kind of find your balance. Oh, there's another co-write that I was in the middle of and I haven't finished. Totally forgot about that one, actually. Need to reach out to that person. The tour kind of hijacked my entire life. Like, once I signed on to the tour, my entire life became like preparing for that tour. So everything pretty much fell by the wayside, which was difficult to get back into. So there's a lot of things like that every once in a while I go, oh yeah, that's right, I was in the middle of doing that before I left.
I gotcha.
So yeah.
Pretty cool. But the tour does get your name out too, so there's a benefit to it as well. So Not too bad.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The people that I met either online or in person, definitely worth it. Like I think it was a lot of fun and would not regret it.
Cool. I dig it. All right, let's get to the next question. So, Prestige is in the chat. What's up, Prestige? I love it. Hi,
Hey,
Davey.
Prestige.
Hello, Prestige. So good to see you. Backup Pickle says you need someone to help take things off your plate so you can focus on your demos.
Yeah, that's been my goal. That was actually literally my goal this year, was to find at least one other person to be part of a team with me to like help get some things going, because I literally have hundreds and hundreds of hours of video to go through. I have like there's so many. If I were an octopus, I still wouldn't have enough arms for everything, but it would help. Because I just feel like I rarely get to just I love what I do because there's always something to do. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I thrive in it. It's literally the perfect career for me, and I love that I've learned to do so many things because of it. But I am getting to a point where I'm not being efficient. There's too many things and I'm not doing much of any of them. I'm just doing a little bit here and there, and certain things are getting completely neglected. Or I just posted on Instagram like a proper post for the first time in over a month. I was like because I kept going, oh, I got to go through the Europe stuff. I got to go. And so that, there's different things that, and it's just chaos. So that was actually my goal this year. Here it is, September. I still do not have that. I do have Jerry, who's been helping me with at least the tour. So there's that. And Trevor has been helping a lot with the stream. Taylor Fan, he has been helping a lot with the stream stuff. So those have been helpful. But I really, I do need another person.
I hear you.
I need an assistant or a manager. I don't know. Somebody to do things or keep me on track. I don't know. Yeah,
Jerry is Jerry, big time shout out to Aphotic Photon. Just to clarify, I'm Jerry. Absolutely Jerry. I'm
yeah, Aphotic. I heard you call him Jerry, so I knew you knew who I was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Are you gonna be at the show on Sunday?
That's the plan. Yep. I should be.
Okay, cool.
I got the tickets and everything. I got the tickets for like the whole. So the show we're talking about is the Late Night Buzz post TwitchCon party in close to downtown Las Vegas, right? Yeah, that's like.
No, sorry, the one next weekend.
Oh, the next. Oh, I can't. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Or this weekend. Sorry, not next weekend. This weekend.
Oh, I can't make that one, unfortunately. Yeah.
Told you I don't know what day it is most of the time.
So Muses and Melodies, is that the one?
Yes.
Okay.
Sashi's gonna be there. Can't remember who else. Carmela, maybe?
Solid lineup. Well, I imagine CA and LA are going to be there if it's the Muses and Melodies. So.
Yes, that's right. They're going to be there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Good stuff. Yeah. Well,
but you said you've got things going on.
Yeah. That weekend won't be so hot, but it's. I hope are you going yourself?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry's going to be there too.
Nice. Well, have a good time.
I asked.
Yeah. Should be fun. I mean, they always bring it. Like everybody there brings it. I think I heard Office Drummer is gonna be part of that, which is just pretty exciting because like he's a really good drummer.
Nice.
Yeah. My principal asked me, "Are you going to LA again?" What's up, Rahomo? So good to see you. What's up? Oh, Rahomo, I'm sorry to say there are no more beans tonight. Everybody redeemed all of them, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. All the beans have been gone. There are no more beans that you can redeem on the stream tonight, but we'll have another one tomorrow. As far as I know, unless the regular one is back, I'm not sure. But it's so good to see you, home. I hope you're well. It's so nice to see you. So Rain's question says followed by question. Roma just says what by? I'm sorry. I apologize, my friend. Yeah. It was an amazing run, though. Great. Yeah, Azby's right. Like, Beans has been gulp. It's all bad.
It was all bad. There was one good.
Oh, my goodness.
It was torture to watch.
I feel it. I was there. Yeah. So, Rain's question, which I love, says, followed by question. At what point did music become a thing you wanted to do seriously? And what was it that made it something you seriously wanted to do?
I love that there's like I love the way that that was worded. Well, that's a great question. When I was in college, no, when I was in high school, I fought the idea. I actually originally wanted to do musical theater, and then I was like, I didn't want to do it. I just was overwhelmed by the idea, and I didn't want to do all the whatever. And then I was like, maybe I'll just do teaching. I'll just do teaching. And then, like, right as I had literally already registered for classes, and I had a music scholarship, so I was going to be in the music program anyways. But I signed up for an education direction, and I literally kept thinking about it, kept thinking it, and I literally re-registered with, like, I changed my major to music, and kind of just, my thought process was, this is the hardest thing. This is the thing to do when I'm young. This, like, if I don't do this now, I will always regret it. I know that about me. I will always regret it. And it was the best thing I could have done. To be fair, though, I thought for the longest time that I was like pursuing being in music. Like, I did open mics and I did like whatever while I was in college. Yeah, a little after. I kind of stopped once I got out of college just because I had bills to pay and I moved out and all of that kind of stuff. So life kind of grabbed me by the leg and dragged me for a bit. Uh, so it wasn't until about 2016, 2017. It was 2016, I think. It was early 2016, like spring. I was talking to my roommate and I was like, yeah, I was just asking her because she's a violinist and she was a music teacher. And I was asking her, well, like, I really want to do more of this. I'm just trying to figure out, like, I was always caught in this like catch 22 of like, well, I needed to perform at venues for people to know me, but I needed to know, like, people to get into the venues, or like, and I couldn't record without, whatever. And I it made more sense at the time. I can't remember what the actual like catch 22 was anymore, but whatever it was, I was constantly like in my way, um, in my own way, um, because I kept having this like constant, I can't break the circle. I couldn't break into the circle that was keeping me out of it, and yet I still wanted to do it, but I just didn't know how. And I was having this conversation with my roommate, and she's like, "Oh, you're doing music professionally? Or like, you want to do that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's the problem. Nobody knows I'm doing this seriously. That is a problem in itself." And so at that point, it became like my utmost mission to talk to every single person I knew that had any even slight um, uh, connection with the music industry, and just asking about local places to perform, or just in general, just asking questions, just to like get my name out there, or just to talk to people and know, like, let people know that I was being serious. And that was, as I started to like do that, as I started to follow that, doors kept opening. The more I talked to people, more doors opened. The more I started to learn, I started to realize I could literally just book myself places. It's a whole thing. You just email a venue and then you can perform there. It's there was just all these things that I had thought were in my way. And then it was just this moment of like, well, what you've been doing hasn't been working. You keep saying, I just need this, or I just need this, and nothing has changed. You're very unhappy. So change anything. And that's basically what I did. I was like, if I can't do these things, I will change anything else. And so I started following that. I would say 20 So I would say that was kind of the start of just the thought process. And then 2017, 2018 was when I was really starting to like I was spending more and more time focused on that. I was doing music every single day, of any sort, even if it was just research, if it was like marketing research. I would listen in 2018, 2019. I was listening to a business podcast for the longest time, just like getting my mindset different, learning just all these different things. So it was kind of college, but then it was like when I realized that I don't know, I don't know how to I don't know how to answer questions succinctly. If you haven't noticed, I can try. But basically, I didn't want to do the creative thing for a while because it's very cliche growing up in LA. And then I decided I was just gonna do what I could and see if it worked out. And then and when I really started to get serious about it, the more I did, the more I like realized how much I liked it,
Mm-hmm.
and how much it was a good career for me. I loved learning about these things. I loved being able to book for myself, and I loved like trying to warp my brain around what branding was or
Right.
anything. There's just so much that it just fed me, and the more I've done, the more I've just been kind of like, it's just the more it's solidified exactly what I should be doing. So um, that is kind of the persistent seriousness of it, I guess, being more and more serious about it, in the sense that I, at this point, cannot do anything else. I wouldn't be happy doing anything else. It is what I love. And all aspects of it too. You can't just love music. If you want to just love music in your bedroom. You're good. But nowadays you can't do that. You have to also get excited about the business side of things. You have to get excited about emails, which I hate. But you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
have to want to
Oh
do
yeah.
so much more.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You essentially you're a promoter and you're a talent at the same time, basically. Is that the thought?
mhm.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I suck
Yeah.
at promotion.
Right. Right. But it's
Um,
fair in this case
but
because,
yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, get your name out there. I mean, it's a really great observation. Like, I really appreciate your thoughts on that. It's pretty neat and fascinating to see your perspective on really, in a lot of ways, the industry itself. So pretty cool. Rain, thank you for your question. Amazing question. And I think we'll close it. We'll do. I think we can do like maybe two more questions. So if you want to get them in, go for it. Aphotic Photon has the next question, which is food cravings or drink cravings, like random time of the day, and you're hungry for something specific. What is your go-to usually?
Is that like that's an and or question?
Um, no, I think they're just saying. I think Jerry's basically saying like, what kind of cravings do you have in the food or drink category? So you can give us both if you want.
It's a good question. I actually don't crave food most of the time because I have a medication that I'm on suppresses my appetite. So usually if I'm craving food, it's because I've seen an ad for it. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm starving. It's more that than anything.
Mm.
Um, like I guess yesterday I was craving brownies. So there's that. Um, I've been taking a break from alcohol this week just to like allow my liver to kind of have a break. And I've been craving wine just because I love to like sit and have a glass of wine.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the taste of wine.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I could say that. Water. I mean, is that weird to say I crave water all the time? All the time. Water is my biggest craving.
That is interesting. So your hydrate routine
Um,
must be really effective.
my what?
Your hydrate routine must be really effective.
People don't use it too much, but I also do, for the most part, pretty much self-hydrate. It usually go through about a pint or so of water throughout a stream, sometimes more. And I try to drink about 64 ounces a day. So
that's a lot. But that's how much you're supposed to be drinking.
Yeah, it's good and it's important, especially if you're a singer and things like that. Like hydration is super important for all the things. Plus, like your health, getting things out of your body that don't need to be there. making sure that your organs have enough of whatever, your skin, all of those things are affected by water. But mostly I do it for vocals. It's the way I
I,
can manage
I mean, yeah,
to
that
convince myself.
no, I think that's really really keen. Yeah, absolutely.
But now I'm used to it. I think you
Mhm.
get used to it.
It's a
And now
good.
I feel like parched if I don't get enough water.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Bacchus says, I yell at Tyler to eat food before stream all the time.
I'm really bad at eating before stream. That's why it was kind of great because I was like, hey, we'll be eating sandwiches on this stream.
Pretty cool.
Because I also had not eaten before.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. I love the convenience of that. That's great.
Yeah.
Prestige, that question was not asked, and it's a great one. Go ahead and cue that in the queue, and we'll ask that for you. Great question. But first, actually, that's the next question because like the last question was a photic photon. So, the question from Prestige is: artists whose style influenced or inspired you. So, Tyler, which artists inspired or influenced what you do in music?
You know, this is such an interesting question because it's a very common question, and it's one that I hate a little just because I think any musician will tell you that there are just so much music that you listen to growing up, and hearing like I grew up listening to 90s and early 2000s pop, and then in high school I moved more into like rock and indie rock and a little bit of harder rock, and then from there I went into electronic music. In college was a big electronic phase for me. Then after that I kind of settled a little bit there, but a little bit more of like a melodic version, and then whatever. So it's just like oh no, after college, or no, during college I also got into a big like singer songwriter guitar phase. So like a lot of John Mayer, Ed Sheeran, um who else, Colby Calais, um things like that. So it's difficult to put a fine point pin on something like that. I will often respond in a way that I've been compared to Alanis Morissette. I've been compared to Michelle Branch. I've been compared to what else? Somebody else. There was another one. Can't remember. But those weren't necessarily my influences. Although I did listen to a lot of Michelle Branch and really liked her. I had started writing music when I was listening to Avril Lavigne. No surprise, nothing came out good doing It was like that pop era where everyone was doing like repeats of words, and when you're trying to write that out, it's very discouraging where you're like, this is annoying. What am I doing?
Oh yeah.
But like, I mean, and mid high school was like a classic rock phase. So I've listened to so much. And so I would just say as general, I'd say early 90s and 2000s pop and rock, with a little bit of a classic vibe to it. John Mayer was a big inspiration as far as what you can do with lyrics. I love how creative his lyrics are, and how instead of just saying something outright, there's like a little bit of a dance with some of the words. Um, I'd say musically, I mean, anything like, I don't know, there's just musically it's hard because there's so many things, like these things like Coldplay and The Fray, or there's Led Zeppelin, or you know what I mean. So it's difficult.
Gotcha.
Pink, and although my style isn't as much as Pink, but I'd go with like maybe Michelle Branch. I don't know. So yeah, that answer is just because I don't have an answer. I have all the answer.
It does take us through what your interests are in music, though. That's pretty cool. So it was pretty nice to kind of go through that journey with you. Like it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of music out there. I also got into
Yeah.
classical music for a while. And I was doing classical vocals in college. I wasn't super into classical vocals. I was into, oh, what was I doing? Never mind. Classic pop, Josh Groban, and I don't know. There's so much out there. Celine
Oh yeah.
Dion
Yeah.
is a huge inspiration vocally as far as
Oh, interesting.
also how she treats her body and her voice. She's very specific about like the humidity
Mm-hmm.
and the like just so many different things that most people don't fight for in their careers as far as vocalists, but she's so big on preserving her vocals.
Wow.
Another inspiration. There's just so much.
Yeah, you're right. Like
Mhm.
that's a genius right there. Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. Like that's a genius. That's a mastermind, a maestro, if
Yeah.
you will.
Maestro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Uh,
So King's question says, been waiting weeks to ask this question. Autograph when?
In Texas? When I see you?
There we go. Not that bad.
Maybe?
It's clever. Not bad.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I knew I had to. That's funny.
Dig it.
It's so funny. Autographs are interesting. I never know what to like autograph or even where to autograph things. That's a whole thing. Like on a poster, you're like, I don't want to ruin it, but if I autograph the back and someone wants to frame it, then like, then that's on the back. But I don't know. Pictures, people sometimes just do it right over things. I just don't know.
That's fair. I've never really thought about it, but you're right. There are definitely considerations as far as the placement. You're always keen and like, you don't want to block anything. You don't want to do it on the face,
Right.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Cool. Well, so you as mentioned, you do have some things coming up in the near future, and as mentioned, including the concert you'll be sampling, which is pretty cool. Are you in the bill too, or I wasn't sure? Or are you just like taking it in?
No, I'll just be going.
Oh, right on.
Just gonna hang out.
Right
It's
on.
fun though.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can vouch for that.
You just reminded me. I forgot about as far as autographs go. Just a quick fun little tidbit story. When I was on tour, it was in Belgium. We were all hanging out after the show, a bunch of people there, and one of the actually I think two guys asked me to what. Well, first it was one guy, and then the other one was like, me too. I signed a guy's stomach. He like literally is like, will you sign my stomach? And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, fuck it, give me a Sharpie, let's go. I kid you not, that happened, and I did, and I just found the picture. Hannah just sent it to me the other day, so it'll be in the mix of all of the all of the pictures, but you have that to look forward to.
Yes.
But as far as things coming up, the Texas tour is what I'm planning for most. I just had a gig at Naboo Wines in Westlake this last Sunday. Mostly just streams, and I'll be doing some production streams hopefully soon and all of that. But yeah, just the holidays are coming up. The whole everything in fall is going to be a whole thing. We'll be doing like movie nights for not for Halloween, but for like October and all sorts of things for that. And November will be my 3-year Twitchversary.
Woo!
And then December is the end of the year, winter. And if my calculations are correct, we may be celebrating my 1,000th streaming hour by then. Might be earlier, depending on how long or how often I stream. So, but might do a celebration for that too. Just realized that yesterday.
Tyler, that's a great run.
That?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was your question, right? To what's coming up?
Yes, exactly. And that's fantastic. So folks, if you want to keep in the loop on all these cool things, use exclamation point guest, get to know our friend Tyler Alexis, and yes, some big milestones. Well, it's early, but congratulations on 3 years on Twitch. That's a great run. You know what? And
thank you.
I think with every year, that's a great run becomes a bigger statement to me, because we have seen some of our friends kind of like come and go and people have moved either back into IRL streaming or other things have happened, and they haven't been able to keep it going. So when you can do a 3-year run on Twitch, it's a big thing to me. So big time
Thank
kudos.
you.
Yeah.
I'm amazed because if you'd asked me 3 years ago if I would be doing this, like ever in general, but like also like 3 years from now, I would not have known that, and I love it. I love this community, so it's great.
I love that for you too. Like it's really great to see people have grown to enjoy what you do. Everything you do on stream. Like I know you're gaming as well sometimes on the channel, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're overdue for a game stream. We should do one. But I've also been taking advantage of the fact that I've been able to do music more often. So
that's huge, big time huge.
But,
well, friends, yeah. This has been a really fun. This has been a fun journey. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little bit, Tyler. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and doing the thing, and wishing you best of luck in your music as you go along. And I do hope when you do get around to that tour, I hope that's a fun time. It sounds like Texas has got a lot of good music going on, you know. So like it seems like a good spot.
It's gonna be great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely,
I really appreciate it.
You bet.
This has been fun.
Oh, thank you, Tyler. Well, let's go find someone to raid. I've got the raid target and the raid call. Let me go put that in.
Nice.
This will make sense when we get there. Oh, you won your bets. That's nice. It'll make sense. It doesn't make sense right now. It'll make sense when we get there. You'll see. Because
that's
funny. So we're gonna go hang out with a good friend of ours who's celebrating his final stream in his current stream studio. Our good friend Jomsy is our raid where we're going. So that's the raid call. Dinner time. Copy the raid call. Jamie's rich. Congratulations on being rich, Jamie. Way to go. I love it. And yeah, Tyler, follow Tyler on all the things. Like there's a link to her Twitch page, and you can also follow her on the social. Is your handle the same on like all the socials, or are there different ones?
It is, with exception of Twitter and YouTube. So everything is Tyler Alexis Music. Twitter is Tyler_Alexis_ because Tyler Alexis Music does not fit. I think I can get to Tyler Alexis Muse, and then it drops off. And then YouTube is just Tyler Alexis because I got in there early enough.
Oh, okay.
So, and then yeah, so yeah, I should probably just steal the Tyler Alexis Music one too, and have it reroute or something. I don't know if you can do that, but
I mean, if you can, I say go for it because it's consistent and everybody knows like where you are. It seems like a solid idea. Yeah.
Right.
Not too bad.
But yeah, so everything, but otherwise it's also my link tree. So linktr.ee/Tyler Alexis Music. So you can, if when in doubt, everything can be found there.
Nice. Yeah, go ahead and put that in there really quickly, King, before we raid out. But we are gonna raid out, and thank you again, Tyler. Have a great weekend, and yeah, enjoy the show. It should be really fun. So,
thank you.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your weekend as well.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. If you missed any part of this, everybody, you can catch our VOD here on Twitch, and we'll also have it on YouTube tomorrow. So we appreciate you being here. Tomorrow night, we've got Popcorn Karaoke here on the Sandwich Show. So come on back if you want to watch some chaos and all around enjoyable fun and all the shenanigans that come with it. It'll be really fun. So we recommend it. And also when's your next stream, Tyler? By the way, really quickly.
Saturday should be my next stream.
Okay. So it's Saturday.
I'm trying to do Saturdays. They're not as consistent like time yet, but
okay.
I'm trying for midday.
Okay. Cool.
LA time.
So
yeah. But then if not that, then Wednesday for sure.
Okay. Love it. All right, so friends, here's the raid call again. Dinner time. Copy that and paste it when we get over to Jomsy. Follow our friend Jomsy when we get there. He's really good people, good friend of ours. And so let's say hello and give him a follow if you're not already. Good night, everybody. Take care. All the best. And we'll see. And yeah, I hope the rest of your week goes well too. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Let's do it. All right.